Good morning, lovely people, or afternoon, or evening. Happy Christmas, everyone! How are you doing today? I hope you're well. I know, let's just address this quickly to start with and then just park it. I know it's not the Christmas a lot of you planned. It's probably, for the vast majority of people, it's just not going to be what they've ever done before. But it's the Christmas we've got, so big girl pants on, we'll make the most of it. I'm on my own today. That's fine, actually. I know some of you are on your own for the first time for whatever reason, and you've never, ever been on your own at Christmas before. So I just want to say to you, please, 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 at least for the next few minutes, please don't feel alone. We're in it together. Okay, good. So, where to start today? My mind's all over. So in previous years, I've started my Merry Christmas with you with a glass of the old fizzy stuff. I'm going to save this for later. Do you remember at the end of November, I hadn't been to the garden for about 3 weeks for various reasons. Hadn't been for ages, really missing it. Turned up one day and on the stoop of my shed was a little brown paper bag, and in it was a bottle of beer, long since gone, and this little bottle of Prosecco from the girls next door. So I saved it. You see, I did tell you I'm quite good at delaying my gratification with most things. So I shall have that later. Where to put it for now? For safekeeping down there. I'll have that later after I've had my lunch, which today it is going to be sausage, mash and peas. And it really is a treat because, well, as I explained about the sausages when I bought them as part of my treats, I've got potatoes from the allotment still, but I had rubbish. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Oh! Oh! I'm here. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, the peas this year weren't great. I mean, I had some and they were gorgeous, but the problem with peas is, and I'm sure you all have this too, I scoffed the blimmin' lot in the garden. As fast as I was picking, I was podding and scoffing. So another treat is I bought myself a bag of frozen peas. Woo, big spender. I do love them. And of course, that whole bag of peas, that's going to last a few days. So yes, sausage, mashed peas and a bit of vegetarian gravy. Yum, yum, yum. And I know that's like so far removed from what you might think of as a traditional Christmas dinner or lunch, however you call it. But the thing for me is, Christmas Day, throughout my working life, apart from when I was nursing, Christmas Day has always been the only day of the year that I'm guaranteed a day off. Every other job I've had, I've worked Saturdays, Sundays, bank holidays, you name it. But Christmas Day was always the one day that I knew I would have off. And so it became it's a real highlight of my year because, yay, it's a day off, hurrah, I'm having a day off. And it just always felt like, you know what, because it's so special for being a day off, I kind of just want to go with my own flow, do my own thing, do whatever takes my fancy. So, I think, was it last year or the year before, for my Christmas lunch, I had pizza. Just because that's what I fancied. And, aside from the religious festival, and I don't want to offend anyone who, for them, Christmas is the religious festival. It isn't for me anymore. That's just how my life has gone. But it is my midwinter festival, if you like. It is my special day for treats. The one day of the year treats. So yeah, if I want to sit in my pyjamas all day, eating pizza and drinking Prosecco at 9 in the morning, I jolly well will. That's my gift. That one day of the year is my gift to myself. So I'm not drinking Prosecco at 9 in the morning for once. And I've got a couple of mince pies ready as well, but I'm not going to have those yet either. That's all going to be for when I get cosy later. I'm not showing you my bottom half at the moment because on my bottom half I've got my like really slobby old jogging pants on. It's kind of like, I don't do pyjamas, I don't wear pyjamas, but I have that kind of, you know, that sort of like loungewear, pyjama-y wear, bottom half. What I do have on though are my new slippers. Thank you, Nancy. Aren't they fab? They're made from, I kept the little label because it's got the washing instructions, alpaca, wool and acrylic. Oh my goodness, they're so gorgeous and cosy. But look, I don't know if they remind you of it too, but they remind me of chainmail. Is that just me? So I was sneaky. I opened these early. Gosh, they're so snuggly. Every time I've put them on, I look at my feet. I'm imagining that I'm some knight in my shining chainmail. Where's my horse? Someone bring me my horse. I wouldn't have been a knight though, would I? Because I'm a girl. Boring. Anyway, yes, so I've got a feeling this is going to be a very digressy video, just because I'm excited, because it's Christmas. So I guess if you're being traditional with your food today, at least in the UK, it would be what everyone sort of calls turkey with all the trimmings. So you have your turkey, roast potatoes. Oh gosh, roast potatoes. Salivating at the thought. Maybe I'll just chuck a load of potatoes in the oven to roast them. And then this evening I can just have them and yum. So yes, roast potatoes, roast parsnips, carrots, sprouts. Oh, sprouts, they are the great divider, aren't they? I love them. I absolutely love them. Which is so galling for the fact that I can't grow them. I've tried now, I think, 6 times to grow sprouts. Different varieties, different parts of the garden, different techniques. Whatever I do, no, I can't grow them. Isn't that a shame? Will I have one more go next year? Nah, well a heck. Not worth it. Not worth it for one bowl of sprouts on Christmas Day. So yes, parsnips, carrots, sprouts. Some people like some sort of caramelised red cabbage. Stuffing, of course, sage and onion stuffing. Lashings of gravy. Cranberry sauce. Now, excuse me. When I was a kid, I don't think we did cranberry sauce on the sort of the Christmas dinner plate. I think that's come later on. Anyone who's kind of familiar with me in my videos will know that I don't like mixing up my food groups. Stop mucking about. I don't want pudding on my mains plate. For instance, don't put sultanas in my salad. Sultanas go in your pudding. Likewise, don't be putting nuts in my pudding. Nuts are for my main. The idea of cranberry sauce on that mains plate, it's like, you know, at any other time of the year, let's say you're having Sunday roast one day in March. On your Sunday roast, are you going to get open a jar of strawberry jam and dollop some strawberry jam on the plate? No, I don't get the cranberry sauce thing. Vive la différence, each to their own. So yeah, that's going to be the traditional meal for most folk today. I think the irony of it is that everyone I know who does eat meat, there aren't many of them left, they don't like turkey. I really don't like it. So I know, for instance, my sister, they will have a real treat joint. They'll have an expensive joint of probably beef. Like I said, it'll be a special thing because it will be that most expensive joint that they don't normally have. Yes, anyway, it's all about creating that feast, isn't it? And luxuriating in really, really beautiful food, possibly a little bit too much of it for one day. I will be keeping mine much more simple, but I will really, really enjoy it. I can tell you that much. You know, I think I need another sneeze and a blow. Oh, I feel all fizzy. You know what I think it is? I've brought a lamp over and it's right here, just trying to get a bit more light. I think that's what's making me sneeze. Never mind. Right. We've got another advent calendar window to open. And like I said the other day, this is so weird to me because I've never seen an advent calendar with the 25th. So let's see what final treasure it has to reveal to us. T.S. Eliot's poem, Journey of the Magi, of 1927, was originally commissioned for a series of illustrated Christmas cards. I had no idea. Gosh, I haven't read Eliot for years. Cats. Think of cats when you think of Eliot. Lovely. I've got to say, I know I've said it a couple of times already, but I have loved this calendar this year. What a great gift from my sister. I've really, really, really loved sharing it with all of you. And I know some of you haven't been able to watch every day. That's fine, because it has been a lot of videos. There's been a lot of me nattering, hasn't it? But what I've also really, really enjoyed is your reactions and your comments back. I know that those of you who've been enjoying this time we've had together throughout December, opening the calendar, I know you've really enjoyed it. So I'm going to make sure to say a massive, massive thank you again to my sister, not just for all the pleasure that this has given me, but the pleasure that I've been able to share and then have kind of reflected and shared back to me from all of you. Yay! Right, I think we're a bit remiss at the moment because we haven't got our hats on, have we? So, we must pull a cracker. I have one for me and one for you. Now, someone mentioned this in comments the other day. Was it Otis? I think it was. I was saying, what are Christmas crackers? It's funny, isn't it, the things we take for granted. So in the UK, this is a Christmas cracker. It's a little paper, a cylinder shape. I don't know if you can see through, but there's a long, can you see there's a bit of a strip of cardboard in there? That one's all the way through. And in the middle, when it gets pulled apart, it does a little bang. And Christmas crackers always contain three things. One, a hat. Two, what they call a motto, even though it's not really a motto. It's usually a really, really cheesy rubbish joke. And three, a gift of some sort. These are cheapy ones, so the gift is going to be absolutely rubbish, but never mind. And in my family, the tradition with the crackers is when you lay the table for your Christmas lunch, dinner, however you call it, each plate has a cracker laid on the top. So as everybody gathers and sits at the table, even before, as the food, whoever's hosting, starts to bring the bowls of sprouts and the bowls of carrots and the bowls of potatoes out and starts to pile all the food up in the middle of the table, you turn to your neighbour and you pull a cracker together. Now, someone will end up with just this section, nothing. The other person will end up with the main tube bit with all the good stuff in it. So then everyone dons their hats, we start to have our meal, and then the jokes get read out. They really are appalling. So I'm supposed to be pulling this with someone else, but over the last 3 years of doing my Christmas video, I have perfected the art of pulling a cracker on my own. So here we go. This is my cracker, and then we'll do yours. Oh, that was right in my earbud. Gosh, that was a noisy one. Oh, I love the smell of the crackers as they bang as well. It's that kind of, you know, sort of like matchstick sulphuriness. So, first things first, where's the motto? Is it inside the hat? Yes, it's inside the hat. My little gift is, how sweet, a little set of stickers. So I could use those on the backs of envelopes for Christmas cards next year. Yay! Hang on, let's get the hat on before we do the motto. Oh, it quite coordinates with my top, fortunately. And the hats, I've got to say over the years, they've got smaller and smaller and skimpier and skimpier. Did anyone see, by the way, the other night, I just watched it on Catch Up, the Christmas special of All Creatures Great and Small? It was so sweet. Hang on, let's get this. Oh, I'm going to have to look in the screen a minute. Hang on, I'm going to go jaunty this year. There we go. Yeah, did anyone see the Christmas special of All Creatures Great and Small? Oh, it's so lovely. It's like, no, Helen, no, don't marry him. You love another. The reason I'm mentioning it is I've just got my Christmas hat on. Any of you who saw it will have seen when they had their Christmas dinner, their hats were massive. They were like kind of like buckets on their heads. And they weren't shaped like crowns. Ever since I can remember, Christmas hats are, you know, pointy, sort of crown shaped. Theirs were more like, oh, how to describe it? I don't know. It's just like round buckets, pudding basins on their heads. Right, okay, here's the riddle. Why do cows lie down in the rain? Have you got the answer? Have you had to think about it? Why do cows lie down in the rain? To keep each udder dry. I told you, cheesy, cheesy, cheesy. Right then, this is your cracker. Oh, you've got a little robin on yours. How cute. I'm going to pull it for you. Oh no, would you like to pull it? Go on, you pull. I'll pull this end. Oh, we didn't get a bang. Oh, we got a bang. Oh, look, you got the... I ended up with the rubbish bit. You got the good bit. Hang on. I'll open it for you. What present did you get? Oh, this is like deja vu from last year, because I think I had the stickers last year. And this is what you got last year and you got it again this year. A ring. You got a ring. Well, isn't that perfect? That's because I love you all. Let's all get married. I'll keep your ring safely up here. Right, are you ready for your hat and your motto? Are you feeling a bit buttery? Oh, motto fell out. If you're feeling a bit buttery fingered, have you been on the sherry already? Don't worry, I'll put your hat on for you. Just lean forward a little bit. Just a little bit more. Just lean, lean, lean. Ah, there we go. Well, don't you look magnificent? You've got a matching red crown just like me. Yes, you are beautiful in your crown. Okay. What do ghosts eat? Ghosts eat goulash. Actually, that's not bad. Goulash. I've never heard that one before. Yay for one I haven't heard before. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. So, what time did you all get up this morning? Oh, I need to blow my nose again. I'm not stopping the camera. Excuse me, I'm just going to dive over here. I think it's that light, it's doing it to me. Yeah. What time did you all get up in the morning? Were you all bright and breezy and early? I think it probably depends, doesn't it, if you've got little kids with you at Christmas. I was quite lazy today. it was gone 8. Yeah, I woke at about 8, kind of just stretched, sprawled out in bed, and I thought, oh yes, Christmas Day, no rush, no hurry. You know, that's the other thing for me about making a much more simple dinner. No getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to put the blooming turkey in the oven. I seem to remember that when I was a kid, that there was always someone up really, really, really early to start, you know, cooking this humongous great bird. Do people still do that? I don't know. I do know when we were kids, there was that routine of we'd wake up, crash around. Oh, I'll let you in on a little secret. Shall I? I made a confession to my family last year. They didn't believe me. It's so funny that I've had this secret for so many years, and when I finally confessed, none of them believed me. They thought it was something else. But there was one year, I don't know if I've ever told you this before or not, but I must have been 10 or 11, around about then. My 2 cousins were quite little. They're younger than me. It's my mum's younger sister. It's her kids. So they were maybe sort of 6 and 4, something like that. But we were all bunked. All the kids were bunked in one room together, and, you know, packed off to bed on Christmas Eve, probably about 9 o'clock, which felt far too early. We're all wide awake. We're all really excited. And obviously bunking us all in together, well, that was trouble anyway, wasn't it? All night. And we were given a little clock, and we were told we were not allowed to get out of bed until 7 o'clock in the morning. I can't remember who it was, but someone set the alarm for 7 o'clock in the morning. That is the earliest you kids are allowed to get up. So off we all went, tucked into bed. About half an hour later, I crawled out of bed, got my dirty little paws on the alarm clock, and I turned the alarm back to 5 o'clock. So of course the alarm went off at 5 o'clock, and I was like, yay, we're allowed to get up because the alarm's gone off. We were sent packing back to bed, but for years and years and years, the debate raged whether it was my mum or my aunt who'd set the alarm clock incorrectly. And I kept stum for all those years. Yeah, anyway, like I said, last year, or it might have been a couple of years ago, when me and my sister and my cousin and his wife went off to Dorset for a long weekend. It might have been that weekend that I finally confessed it. The thing is, none of them believed me. They were all like, no, it was Auntie Heather. No, it was Mum. No, it was Auntie Heather. It was me. Honestly, I was an absolute minx as a child. Still am. Anyway, so yes, I guess if you've got kids around, that's my tea's gone down the wrong way. Hang on, slug of water. I guess if you've got kids around, you've been up since the crack of dawn, with them pinging off all the walls. If there aren't kids in the house and you're a deliciously sensible adult like me, you will have just stretched out in bed, enjoyed the quiet, and then rub the sleep out of your eyes and gradually get your day going. So now we're underway. Right, I think... Oh, I've got a thank you to say. Now this is a bit weird. Neither myself nor my 2 other neighbours downstairs, we all share the same front door, same letterbox. We've had no mail for, I think, about 9 days now. None whatsoever. We should have done, never mind the whole Christmas stuff, bills, tax stuff. I get all the invoices for my great aunt sent here for me to deal with. There's been nothing. So I apologise if some of you have sent cards. I know some of you have mentioned it to me, cards and bits and pieces. I'm really sorry I'm not showing any of that today and saying thank you properly, because nothing's arrived. I hope my postie isn't ill. Okay, let's be let's be positive and imagine that my postie isn't ill, but they're just a bit swamped at the moment. Fingers crossed. I did have one parcel arrive about 10 days ago, but I wasn't here because I was in the garden. And so I had it redirected to my local post office to collect. I didn't collect it for ages because every time I went to collect it, the queue was stonkingly long, but I finally picked it up the other day. There's no gift note. I don't know who it's from, but it's really lovely. It is a little, I'm going to show you this in more detail in the coming days, but it's a little grow your own microgreens kit. So all my lovely instructions and everything's on lovely. It's all vegetable inks. Literally everything in here, apart from the little trays, can be composted. There's some compost, there's some seeds, and then little trays to grow them in. Like I said, I will show you this properly in the coming days as I get it underway. Now, this is going to be so fun for me because I haven't grown microgreens for years. I do sprout seeds for myself in the kitchen. Mung bean seeds, they're a great one for sprouting, and I love adding them into salads, or sometimes I'll literally have a bowl of them and sit and nibble them as I'm reading or watching a film or something. But I haven't done microgreens for, I can't remember how long, so it'll be really fun to play with this kit. And like I said, what I will do, because it's from a company called Get People Growing, so I'm going to do it exactly as the instructions say and show you at the same time to see, we can see how easy it is, how clear it, I mean it is easy, it's going to be easy, but to show how clear it is. And then if you fancy a go, you can get yourselves a kit, or it might be the sort of thing that in another year you think, oh, that would be a nice gift for someone or yourself. Yeah, so we'll have a look at that in the coming days. But like I said, there was no gift note with it. I don't know who it's from. Whoever you are, thank you. Thank you, because A, it's food. Oh, wriggle, wriggle. A, it's food. I love food. But B, it's a thing to do, a fun thing to do. And I love having fun things to do. Yay! Gonna have to refill this in a second. All right, my lovelies. Shall we open a couple of presents together? Because, you know it's... You see, in my family, we wait until after lunch. Everyone has their lunch, then the kids get sent to the kitchen to do the scrubbing. It seemed to take forever. When you're a kid, it takes forever to do all the washing and drying and putting away. It felt like it was taking the whole day to do that. And I think it's particularly cruel for us kids, because all the time we're doing it, we know that there's prezzies under the tree, but we're not allowed to open them until we've done our slaving in the kitchen. Yeah, cruel parents. Anyway, yeah, so we're doing this in the wrong order today. We're doing this before we've had our Christmas lunch. Actually, though, now, because I'm hoping to put this out around about 3 o'clock, so you can decide which Queen you would like to watch, me or Her Majesty. Oh, bless her, Madge. Anyway, it's the wrong order for me. I'm going to have a look at some of my gifts. Now, do you remember when I got the Advent calendar, I also got, light issues, this calendar for my sister. I was really good. I put it away. I haven't looked at it at all, but I'm dying to rip off the cellophane and have a look at some of the images. So this calendar is all images of bookshops around the world. And having looked on the back briefly, I think I'm probably going to know some of them. Barnes and Noble. Oh, they're a big giant, aren't they? Let's find some. Now this is the one. This is Libraria in London, and this is the one, it's on the cover, that kind of reminds me so much of my bookshop. I missed that. I won't show them to you all. Waterstones in Newcastle. Newcastle, Sherwood Call. Sorry, everybody from Newcastle, Geordieland. Waterstones is a chain of bookstores in the UK. And if anyone saw my video that I made called A Postcard from St James's, you'll remember it was a Waterstones that I went to on that day with my book tokens. I had £70, 70 quid's worth of book tokens to spend. Oh, can you imagine my joy? I was salivating. I mean, I rarely buy new books these days. They're too expensive. But £50 of that had been a voucher when I changed power companies years ago, and I'd had the vouchers for years, but they honoured them. Yeah, for changing power companies, it's so funny, I was looking for a new power company, and there were 3 that I had my eye on, and in the end I went with a company called Good Energy. It's all renewable energy. But the reason I went with them in the end was because I got a £50 book token if I swapped to them. Anyway, so Waterstones, that was a branch of Waterstones in Gower Street in London. I think it's their biggest branch. It's over 5 floors. They have fantastic academic sections in there. So if you're, having to read, if you're reading medicine, doing anything of that, brilliant. Loved it. Oh, how sweet. Oh, this is in Cape Town in South Africa, in a shop called Bikini Beach Books. Bookshops should have cats, shouldn't they? Oh, I just want to tell you something else. I told you I was going to digress all over the place today. Okay, that's enough pictures to look at in there for now. Anyone who follows on my Facebook page will remember that about 3 or 4 weeks ago, very sadly, I shared the news that our station cat, Lily, had died. Any of you who don't follow Facebook, why don't you? No, I totally get if you don't. I don't do personal Facebook anymore at all. Zip, done with that. But anyway, yes, so Lily, one of my local stations, and it's the station I used to use to go to work. It's the station I used to go backwards and forwards to my great aunt. So before all of the travel restrictions started, I'd go to that station at least once a week because of my great aunt. And this beautiful tortoise shell cat, Lily, lived in the station. And sometimes you'd go up to the counter to buy your tickets and Lily would be behind the screen, right in front. You could hardly see the ticket master. She's there. Sometimes she's on the customer side. And when you get your change slid through the window, she'd paw at it. Sometimes she'd be in the waiting room and she'd curl up in your lap and keep you nice and cosy. So she's been a big fixture of our station for a number of years now. But bless her, poor little chops. She died, like I said, about 4 weeks ago. And on my local Facebook page, which I do still follow, looking for freebies all the time, so many folk have shared really gorgeous pictures of her. Everybody knows and loves Lily the station cat. Well, thank you, Geraldine, just shared with me a couple of days ago a news article from a local newspaper. The community are raising funds and have commissioned a local artist. Oh, this is going to make me get weepy in a happy way, to create a little bronze statue of Lily. So a little bronze Lily will be forevermore at our station. And I just think that's lovely, the idea of, all of us grown-up commuters, each time as we come into the station, Lily will still be there. But imagine for all the little kids coming in, they can give her a little pat on the head. Love it. So yes, it was really sad to hear that she'd died. But what a great community response to raise money to commission the artist. Now, as I understand it as well, what's lovely is the artist is going to do the work for nothing. The money being raised is just for materials, and anything over and above the cost of materials is going to be donated to a local, or it's pretty much the local cat rescue place around here. Gorgeous. That's a nice Christmas story, isn't it? Right, so I want to open a present properly. This is huge, it's a huge box. Do you remember the size of this box? I'm going to rip into it. Do you remember a few days ago, honestly I really have lost track of time, I was saying that I'd said to my mum and sister, let's not go mad. I'm going to put it on the floor to open anything. Bear with me. Oh, sorry. I'd said to my mum and sister, let's not go mad. Let's just, find and give each other things, small things that we actually really need. And I said I thought I was going to get a roasting tin. Right. Oh, I nearly dropped that into the camera then. Oh, that's great. Lovely roasting tin. Oh, thanks, sis. That's great as well, actually, because I was imagining quite a bit bigger. But the thing about this size that's good is, this is wonky heavy, hang on. As it goes into the oven, I can always put another thing alongside it, plus my bigger roasting tin. That's great. That's super solid. That is really rather fantastic. But then there's another box inside the box. Have you got something to open? Go on, open something with me. I don't want to do this on my own. And of course, as a gardener, as I'm opening everything, I'm immediately, in my head, I'm transporting all this cardboard to the allotment. What on earth can it be? Oh, that will go to the garden. Or I'll keep this. That's the other thing is I keep packaging for sort of onward packaging of things from my shop. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is so exciting. Like I said, I sort of said a roasting tin would be lovely. That was all I wanted. She's done it again. She's bought something else. Some kind of big hamper. It says types of bees, and there's all sorts of bees on the outside. Nice sturdy bag. The description, it says, for the love of honey hamper. A sweet hamper dedicated to the nectarious product that is honey. I've got to show you inside. Did you open something yet? What was it? Was it a surprise? Was it something? Oh, I need a pair of scissors to. It's got little plastic things. Hang on, let me get a pair of scissors. That's better. So I've snipped the bag. That's a great bag, isn't it? Nice sturdy bag. That's the kind of bag where if I'm not planning to, I just see my cheeks really flushed. I put the heating on today as a bit of a luxury, but it's too warm now. Yes, that's the kind of bag that's great for taking to the garden. If I'm just harvesting, a couple of days worth of food, I'll get through that in a couple of days, rather than when I'm taking the granny trolley to do a big harvest. And, of course, it might have to live at the garden. Having this bee identification on it, that's useful. Anyway, so I finally fished out the box that was in it. Oh, it looks like it's all foodie goodies. Honey and oat biscuits. treats. Oh! Oh, this is, sorry, Crunch Crunch, an old favourite. You see that? Chocolate honeycomb. Oh my goodness, I love chocolate honeycomb. Goodness me. Oh, and then, don't worry, all of this packaging will be saved and reused somehow or other. Oh my goodness, so a little selection of that Seville orange marmalade with honey. Oh, how lovely. There's 4 jars in here. I won't drag them all out. I'll just have one more. Yes, so did you open a parcel? I got distracted, didn't I? What was in it? Was it a pair of really ugly socks? The go-to when you don't know what to get someone for Christmas. Ooh! Honey mustard. Now, this is funny because, or not funny, but pertinent. Just the other day I was thinking, I don't really use mustard very much. I rarely have it. And I don't know why the thought had come into my head the other day, but I was thinking, ooh, maybe get some mustard, Vivi, and experiment. Because, you know, a lot of my veggies, obviously they taste gorgeous, but sometimes you just want to add something else, do something else with them. Brilliant. That's lovely. Look, it's a really grainy one. Gorgeous. Oh, thanks, big sis. Honey products, a roasting tin, a bookshop calendar, an advent calendar that was so dreamy. What a star. I'm reaching down. I've got a parcel from my mum here too that I haven't opened yet. So, she said there's another parcel on its way, but I think it's got caught up in the post. But in here, I've got a little miniature, a little miniature panettone. Now, this is another one, isn't it? It's kind of odd how, like I was saying with the cranberries, I don't remember cranberries as a kid, but also panettone. We never used to do panettone at Christmas. It's another thing that in the last sort of maybe 10 years or so has become popular. I've got my social bubble in a few days, so I think I'm going to keep this to share because I think that might be a bit much for just me, and it's nicer to share things, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, thanks, Mama. So the other thing I'd mentioned to both my mum and my sister was, oh, they've fallen out of the packet, that I could do with a new pair of needlework scissors, as in little teeny tiny snips. Brilliant. Oh, they look good and solid. Pretty little detail on the, I don't know if that will pick up, on the handles. They've got a nice weight to them as well. So when I, quite a lot of, oh, sorry, I've got an itchy ankle again. It's the other one. It's a different ankle this day. Today. Yes, quite often when I'm sewing, even if it's machine sewing, I quite often finish things by hand. So it's nice to have a little dainty pair of snips to do that with. Oh! Okay, pudding is sorted. You see, it's a little teeny tiny individual Christmas pudding. Well, I wasn't planning on having Christmas pudding today after me bangers and mash, but I shall. Oh, thanks, Mom. And then, oh, you see, you can't go wrong. Hang on, let me just pop this box down there. You can't go wrong. Even though I'm an ex-nurse now, I think nurses, gardeners, all of us, you can't go wrong with a bit of hand cream, can you? Oh, that's a lovely little set. That's the London design, isn't it? Let me show you the middle one. Oh, I'm going to open the packet. This is cute. Look at that. Can you see? Can you see what's in the middle? It's Tower Bridge. Oh, that's cute. Maybe it's because I'm a Londoner. I'm not a Londoner, but I do love London town. Oh, thanks, Mum. Obviously, I'll be on the blower to have a proper chat and a proper thank you to them both for all these things. I've got another couple of things here which I'm going to save for later. Yeah, I'm going to delay some more of the gratification. It's a bit too early for lunch, but my belly's starting to rumble. Mince pie. That's what will keep me going. And mince pie and a glass of Baileys or a glass of not Baileys. I still haven't had a glass of not Baileys yet. I don't know. I'm being really good this year for some reason. I don't know what's come over me. Normally, with something like the not Baileys, I'd buy it and I'd muller it in a night. I've been really, really good though. I've saved everything for today. Oh, apart from the satsumas, I did eat a load of those. I think I've got 2 left. So maybe that's what I need as a late morning little snackette to keep me going through to lunch. I think a mince pie, 2 satsumas and a glass of not Baileys. Or 2 glasses of not Baileys. Or 3 glasses of not Baileys. And then lunch won't happen. Lunch won't happen and then I'll go straight into the Prosecco. No, I think just mince pies and satsumas. Listen, lovelies, I think I've gone on for ages. I've probably gone on for a bit longer than I intended to. But I think, you know, do you know what? Hang on just a second. I need to do something. That's better. I've made an executive decision. Because I need a glass to raise to you all, don't I? Yeah, just saying a second ago, I think I've probably gone on one a bit. You know, I wasn't curbing myself today or trying to edit myself. Just wanted to go with the flow because I think this year more than ever, I know there are a lot of you who are just going to be glad to come and hang out with me for a while. I know that I'm really glad to come and hang out with you all for a while. So yes, maybe it's a bit long for some folk. I don't care. I don't care. We're just hanging out together. We are a bit of noise for each other if we're on our own and it's a really quiet day. So, yeah, I'm going to have the first slurp. Ooh! Yum, yum for my tum. Oh yeah, that's good. Thanks, girls. Thanks, girls next door. Oh, one more. Hang on. Sorry, I slurped then. So, my beautiful, gorgeous friends out there in La La Land, in my La La Land as well. I love it. I wish you all a very happy Christmas. Try to make the most of it as best you can. Future Christmases, they won't all be like this. Some things will take time. I'm not talking about COVID. For some of you, it will take time. For some of you, there is some healing to go on. For some of you, what you're going through at the moment, yeah, awful, and you know it's something that you will never get over. We don't get over people. But that raw pain that you're experiencing right now, the rawness will lessen. We will have more Christmases. I think next Christmas will be a little bit better for us all. I certainly hope so. I'll see you again in a week or so, right at the end of the year. But for now, I just want to say a heartfelt happy Christmas to you all. I truly, truly, truly do wish the best for all of you. I truly want you to be as happy as you possibly can be in whatever circumstances you're in. I hope for just a few minutes together today, we can sort of push all the other stuff to the back of our minds for a moment and just enjoy wearing our Christmas hats together and looking stupid together. I look stupid, but you don't look stupid, by the way. You still look gorgeous with yours perched like that. Well, my tongue is tied already. I was going to say, wait till you've had a couple of glasses of this and then your hat will be as wonky as mine. So, gorgeous people, I'm going to say cheerio to you all for now. When you see this on YouTube, I'm hoping to put this, like I said, I'm hoping to put... Oh my goody goodness. Right. Drink slowly, Vivi. I'm hoping to put this out at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Like I said, choose your queen. Once you've watched it through and it's gone live, I am aiming to be on the computer, live online, not live in, video live, but I'm going to be around until about 6 o'clock. So if you want to comment, I will be responding hopefully in more or less, I can't speak, more or less real time. Both for YouTube and on Facebook, because obviously I'll do a little, this will go on to Facebook too. So if you want to chat, if you want to just come and hang out for a bit longer after the video's finished, I will be around, I promise. I don't know how much sense I'll be making by then. Unsensible Vivi is quite fun sometimes. Yeah, she needs to be put in a box. Right, before that it all goes horribly wrong. Beautiful people everywhere, please look after yourselves, look after each other, think about others, and you know what, reach out to people, spread some love, accept some love, give some love, and have the happiest day that you possibly can. Deep breath. Cheers, everyone. Happy Christmas. I will see you again really soon. Maybe. Or maybe not. Bye, everyone.